Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something we all go through, and let's be honest, it's one of the weirdest human experiences out there. We're talking about the biological roller coaster we call puberty.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling, right? It's like one day you're a kid, everything's normal, and then bam! Suddenly there are all these changes, weird new smells, and a body that honestly feels like it's been hijacked.
So, what is really going on here? Let's peel back all those layers of, awkwardness and take a look at the fascinating science behind this whole transformation. We're going to break it all down, starting from the outside and working our way in. All right, so first things first, what are we actually talking about here? Well, at its core, puberty is this huge shift in your body's main mission. I mean, for years, its only job was super simple, just grow bigger. But with puberty, the whole program changes. Now the focus is on a much, much more complex task, getting you ready for the possibility of reproduction. Okay, let's start with the stuff everyone notices, right? The most obvious part of this whole journey, all those physical changes happening to our bodies. These are the signs that kind of signal to the rest of the world, hey, I'm growing up here. And what you'll see is that puberty kind of follows a shared script for everybody, but it also has these two very distinct subplots going on. Some of the changes are universal. They happen to all of us. But others, they're very specific to either male or female development, getting the body ready for a different role in that whole reproduction thing. This chart really lays it all out. You've got the common changes right in the middle, things like pubic and armpit hair, that super fun oily skin and acne, and of course, that classic teenage growth spurt. But then you can see where the paths split. For males, the voice deepens, muscles get bigger. For females, breasts develop, and hips start to whiten. All of these things are what we call secondary sexual characteristics. And really, they're just the body's way of, well, advertising its new reproductive skills. So, what's making all this stuff happen? Who's the master puppeteer pulling all the strings behind the scenes? Well, the answer comes down to these incredibly powerful chemical messengers we call hormones. They are the secret signals running the entire show. So, how does your body even know to start this whole thing? Well, it all comes down to a kind of master control system. Now, it's got a real mouthful of a name, the hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. Yeah, I know, let's just call it the HPG axis for short. Don't let the name scare you off, though. It's really just this beautifully organized chain reaction. Think of it like a set of biological dominoes, tipping over one by one. And you can see that whole chain of command right here. It all kicks off in the brain, when a little region called the hypothalamus releases a hormone called GnRH. You can think of GnRH as the starting pistol for the race. That signal tells the pituitary gland, okay, it's go time. The pituitary then shoots two more hormones, LH and FSH, out into the bloodstream. These guys are the messengers, and they travel all the way down to the gonads. And these are the hormones that do all the heavy lifting. Once those signals arrive, things really get going. In males, the testes start cranking out testosterone, and that's what drives all those male characteristics and, of course, sperm production. In females, the ovaries start producing estrogen and progesterone, and those two manage pretty much everything from developing female characteristics to regulating the whole menstrual cycle. Okay, so all of these hormones, all of these physical changes, they're all leading up to something, right? They're all working towards the ultimate biological goal of puberty, which is to create life's essential building blocks. We're talking about the actual cells needed for reproduction, sperm and eggs. The fancy name for this whole process is gametogenesis, but just like the physical changes we were looking at a minute ago, this process follows two totally different paths in males and females. For guys, it's called spermatogenesis. Testosterone kicks it all off. Basically, cells in the testes that have a full set of DNA, we call those diploid cells, go through this special kind of cell division called meiosis. The whole point of meiosis is just to cut the number of chromosomes in half. And what do you get at the end? From every single starting cell, you get 4 fully functional, ready-to-swim sperm cells, each one carrying half the genetic blueprint. Now, for females, it's called oogenesis, and it's a completely different story. This is all about quality over quantity. Get this, the process actually starts before a female is even born. Then, once puberty hits, hormones trigger that same meiosis process, but only in one cell each cycle. And here's the really clever part. Instead of making 4 equal cells, the division is totally lopsided. You get one giant, mature egg cell and 3 tiny little things called polar bodies that just fade away.
It's an amazing biological strategy to pour all the nutrients and energy into that one perfect, viable egg.
And this just shows you perfectly how form follows function in biology. Look at the sperm cell. It's built for one thing, travel. It's microscopic, it's got a tail for swimming, and a head that's basically just a payload of genetic material. The egg cell, though, it's the complete opposite. It's one of the biggest cells in the human body, it doesn't move, and it's packed to the brim with all the nutrients needed to support a potential embryo.
But of course, we all know puberty isn't just some biology lesson happening inside our bodies, right? No way. It's a really profound, often confusing, and super personal human experience.
I mean, have you ever wondered why the teenage years feel like such an emotional roller coaster? Well, it's those same hormones. They're not just changing your body, they're affecting your brain, especially a part called the amygdala that processes emotions. And that sudden urge to stay up all night and sleep all morning, that's real too. Your body's internal clock actually shifts. And look, it's so important to remember this is not a race. The timing is different for absolutely everyone. Some start earlier, which is called precocious puberty, and some start a bit later. And I just love this quote. It's such a perfect way to think about it. Yeah, it can feel super difficult and chaotic while you're in it, but it's so important to remember that it's all just temporary. It's like you're backstage getting ready for the main event of your life. It's a totally necessary transition. And that really gets to the heart of the paradox of puberty, doesn't it? It's this biological blueprint that billions of us share, but the journey feels so incredibly unique to each of us. It's the journey of becoming the person you're gonna be, a transformation that is somehow, at the exact same time, completely universal and yet deeply, unforgettably personal.